Generally, a game's final boss is just that, the final enemy you face after an entire game's worth of training, leveling up, and instructive deaths. Some games, however, are willing to let you put your money where your mouth is and ask you to come have a go if you think you're hard enough, letting you go straight to the final boss way earlier than you're supposed to. Is this a good idea? Probably not, but hey, we appreciate the moxie, kid. Here are 7 games that let you go pretty much straight to the final boss. Enjoy! Tutorials are supposed to be gentle, easy affairs to teach you how to play the game, so it's no surprise that some of them can lull players into a false sense of competence.
Better get ready for next time.
Still, it's not many games that will ask you point blank if you consider yourself a master after having just done the tutorial. That would be pretty presumptuous, right? Well, Dissidia 12 Final Fantasy does just that, with the Moogle teaching you the game asking you if you consider yourself a Dissidia master this early in the game. There is a self-effacing answer you can choose to show your humility, but if instead you decide to proclaim your Dissidia godhood, the Moogle decides to teach you a lesson by launching you into a fight with the game's final boss, Feral Chaos, a monstrous embodiment of hatred, rage, and eternal violence who is spoiling to kick your ass. Obviously, the point here is to teach you a lesson about overconfidence, but if your confidence is in fact earned, you can beat Feral Chaos right here at the start of the game.
Let's finish this! Bullseye.
At which point, nothing happens. The Moogle just gives you a lecture about how overconfidence is bad, same as if you'd lost, and then the game just carries on as normal. Let's see you do it then, Moogle. When you start your quest in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you're given what sounds like a pretty strict time limit. Princess Zelda has been locked in conflict with Calamity Ganon for the last 100 years, but Ganon's power has been growing stronger, and soon his dark presence will escape and destroy the entire world. So you'd be forgiven for thinking that you want to get this whole Calamity Ganon thing wrapped up as quickly as possible, and the good news is that once you leave the Great Plateau, there is literally nothing stopping you from heading over to Hyrule Castle and slicing Ganon up with your sword. Or, since you haven't got a sword yet, whatever you manage to pick up en route, I guess. And when I say there's nothing stopping you, while that is technically true, there are in fact lots of things that will try to stop you, such as the fact that you only have 3 life hearts, laser-firing guardians that can obliterate you in a single hit, the lack of divine beasts, meaning Ganon has twice as much health as he otherwise would have, and also the 4 other versions of Ganon you have to fight because you didn't do those divine beast quests. It is still possible, however, and if you're determined to skip the rest of the game, you can go from waking up in a cave to striking the final blow against Dark Beast Ganon in about 30 minutes. You see that, Zelda? Easy. What have you been doing for the past 100 years? If you're playing Super Mario World on these SNES normally, you'd have to make your way through 7 whole worlds before you finally make it to the castle of the game's final boss, Bowser. You'll travel through plains, oceans, forests, and haunted houses, killing all of Bowser's kids along the way, so it's no wonder he's mad when you show up. However, if there's one thing Super Mario World loves as much as turtle infanticide, it's secret hidden shortcuts, and if you're smart you can use these to head almost directly to Bowser and finish the game in under 20 minutes. The key to doing this is the Star Road world, which is first available via a secret exit from the Ghost House in Donut Plains. The Star World is a series of levels connected by star-shaped warp portals that take you to the various points around the Super Mario world. Once you're here, you can quickly work your way around to the other side of the star, jump in the portal there, and be deposited right in front of Bowser's front door, who's probably quite surprised to see you here so soon. Although probably glad that you didn't kill any of his kids on the way over, so it's kind of a win-win situation. The big bad final boss of classic time-warping RPG Chrono Trigger is a giant Geiger-esque space hedgehog known as Lavos, whose goals are simple: exterminate all life on Earth, and then raise its surface, salting the ashes so nothing can ever live there again. Simple, achievable. Or it would be if not for you, the player averting this disaster by leveling and preparing your party over long hours of gameplay, and then beating the hell out of Lavos and saving all life everywhere. However, you do actually encounter Lavos before this point in the Ocean Palace, in a fight where you're supposed to lose to establish Lavos' terrifying credentials. Therefore, when you lose, instead of getting a game over, you instead get the rest of the game, filled with determination to crush Lavos next time you encounter him. However, if you're the sort of person who hasn't got time to be wasting on things like paying attention to the story or interacting with characters, you might have done a whole bunch of patient power leveling, or have completed the game before with the advantages of a New Game Plus under your belt, and thus be able to go toe-to-toe with the final boss on equal terms. And if you manage to pull off a victory, congratulations! You've beaten the final boss and the entire game very, very early. Now you get a special game ending in which you hang out with the developers of Chrono Trigger in their, to be honest, pretty grim-looking development studio, and I presume apologise for skipping 95% of their game. And they seem cool with it.
Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
You better do what they say.
Morrowind is probably less fondly remembered than its Elder Scrolls bigger brother Skyrim, but that's just because it doesn't let you Fuz Rodar people off cliffs. In reality, there are lots of things that Morrowind does super well, one of which is that it lets you go straight to the final boss at any point when the mood takes you. The final boss in question is Dagoth-Ur, a shredded religious zealot in a weird mask who you're told at the start of the game is currently hanging out underneath the Red Mountain. Now, Morrowind is an open world game, meaning you're free to go wherever you want on your travels, including the Red Mountain, where with a bit of magical know-how and trickery, you can make your way inside and challenge a presumably rather surprised Dagoth-Ur to a fight to the death.
What a fool you are. I'm a god. How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. How could you be so naive? There is no escape. No recall or intervention can work in this place. Come, lay down your weapons. It is not too late for my mercy.
But while you can fight Dagoth-Ur at any point, you're going to have a hard time if you head straight there, because Dagoth-Ur is invincible in his second stage unless you destroy something called the Heart of Lorcan, which you need a special gauntlet, hammer and dagger to do, items you'd normally get on your quest if you played the game properly. Still, never count against the element of surprise. That actually wasn't much of a surprise.
Where is my sister?
I saw her only a few days ago. I can assure you that she is in good health. Nothing will happen to her if you do as we say.
If you're looking for the shortest hero's journey in the history of gaming, then look no further than the one that is possible in Fantasy RPG Two Worlds, which consists of a casual countryside walk from your starting location to where the end boss is chilling out.
Hold. Who are you?
My name is Gandahar. The message you received was from me.
You might be interested to discover that right at the beginning of the game, Gandahar is just kicking it a short hike from your starting point. Of course, if you try a stand-up fight here, you're toast, since you have like 6 health points, and his fireballs hit for, let's say, 1 million. However, if you're crafty, you can instead jog on over to the nearby village, kiting your dark nemesis along behind you, and the evil wizard's aggression will not go unnoticed by the humble locals. These humble locals, it turns out, are more powerful than they look, and more than capable of ganging up to batter Gandahar senseless for having the nerve to interrupt whatever it is fantasy villagers get up to in their spare time. Maypole or something, I don't know. In a few short minutes, these apparently immortal peasants will wreck Gandahar and effectively complete the game for you.
One day, you will see the truth.
Congratulations, you've not only finished 2 worlds, but also taught the villagers a valuable lesson about self-reliance. Although it does mean you're out of a job as an adventurer. I do hear there's a vacancy for a Dark Lord now though, so that's convenient.
What am I doing wasting my time here? He's got this. You should not underestimate this demon. After all, it was he who took your right arm.
Devil May Cry 5 is a spectacular third-person action game that, if you're really good at it, lasts for about 10 minutes. That's because the game's final boss, Urizen, attacks you in the prologue, and if you've got skills, you can kill him dead before the game has even properly started, wrapping everything up in less time than it takes to sit through an unskippable YouTube ad.
Sorry, Dante. I'm bagging this bitch.
The way this usually goes is that you get dexed by Urizen, Dante rescues you, the roof collapses, everyone has a good chat about how we'll get him next time, and then you carry on with the rest of the game.
Stop hitting yourself and think of ways to get stronger and actually help.
If you're in a rush and are spectacularly good at Devil May Cry though, you can just kill Urizen straight away and enjoy the quickest game over in the history of the series. So quick, in fact, that the developers didn't even have time to finish making the ending. Hey, sounds like a happy ending to me. And to this video, in fact, so thanks for watching. Do you have your own memories of games that let you wreck the final boss early? Let us know in the comments, and if you like this video, maybe like, subscribe, or even check out our Patreon at patreon.com/OXClub to help us keep making more of them like this one. Thanks for watching.